decision.
Yeah. I'm really interested in who it was.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're streaming live through the chat.
Kazar in the cover. Like what? With Odin?
With Odin.
Oh, Father.
And Wasp.
You just gotta, I guess, when you're ready for the record part on GarageBand.
And this Immortal is crazy.
It's awesome. It really is. I'm just gonna do one more share on this. And then finish it. What do you want to do first? Detective? Well, I guess I can do Immortal Hulk first. It was really good, but I guess we'll go Immortal Hulk and then the DC side, Detective and Heroes in Crisis. Cool. All right, sweet. We had a couple people in the chat. All right, Javi. Guess whenever you're ready, let me know when you roll it on there.
All right.
Yep, let's do it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, comic book world? It is that time once again. 90 Miles from Comics. I'm your host, as always, Chad, and I'm here with the gang. We're live on the YouTube. We're going live in your speakers right now. If you're listening on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher, real quick, let's go around the table. As always, we got the engineer, Javier, guiding us through the airwaves. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? What's going on?
Everything good, man?
Yeah, just messing around with this awesome new mic we got.
Oh, nice, man. I hope you enjoy it. What's up, Carlos? Carlos is joining us on the live feed. Give a shout out to Carlos real quick. Yeah, he's coming in. So, all right, are you caught up yet?
On the good stuff.
All right, so
That's
you're getting
important.
Rick and Morty.
all right.
Yeah.
So you'll be getting in today on the chat. All right, I like it. All right, we'll swing back to Javi in a little bit. We'll just make our way around the room. It's cool. Don't worry, Justin. How's everything, bro?
Good.
Yeah. A good week so far at work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like everything you read last week?
Not everything.
Not everything?
Not
Okay.
everything.
I'm sure we'll get to that later, right?
Yeah, if we're going to talk about it, sure.
Yeah, definitely. And as always, we got to roll out the red carpet. Can I get a drum roll, please? I wish I had sound.
I'll bring my drum pad.
Hey, bring it next time for sure. Mr. Red Carpet, Kevin to the core.
I'm
it's
back.
not a persona. He's back. We
to
missed
my
you last week. How sick
day.
were you, bro?
I didn't have a voice for like 4 days.
Yeah.
All right, damn. I'm sorry to hear
And
that.
I'm still recovering. I can't talk for too long without coughing and then losing the voice. So if I'm going to stop in mid-sentence, it's because I literally lost the voice.
All right. Well, we're glad to hear and see that you're back.
Yeah, I wanted to come. I was like, man, 2 weeks in a row missing is not me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to prove to people, it's not a persona. I really feel like shit.
It's
So if I'm
funny.
contrarian to anything, it's literally my beliefs today.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, we did miss you last week. When you listen to the episode from last week, I know it hasn't posted yet. I might have taken 1 or 2 shots at you. My bad. You know.
Might have.
That's messed up. While I'm sick, you kick me down.
You know.
Kick me while I'm
That's why I don't listen when I'm not on. Say whatever you want. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, but that's not fair because every time you're not on, we all mention how much we miss you not being there.
Yeah, and you're right. And you should be listening. Like, oh man, those guys really do love me.
Yeah.
Or Kevin's out. I'm like, yeah, screw that guy. But no, it was just funny. There was a point. I don't know. It just was an opportunity. I just felt like it was like a joke. I was just like, oh, this is just perfect,
We
right?
thought you'd be watching in the chat.
Yeah, I thought you'd be watching the live chat. That's why I kind of like said it, but you weren't. So I should have said
I
it.
don't even know what the fuck was happening. It must have been one of those moments of the sickness of knocking on the couch or the bed or some fucking point. I have no idea.
Well, we're glad to see that you're back and you're feeling well and you're here
Half.
and you're ready to talk some comics.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I couldn't wait another week.
There was a lot that came out last week. I think we're only going to talk 3 books and we'll do some honorable mentions outside of that. And then we'll kind of like an open freelance talk. Shout out to Nicole in the chat. So that means Baby Heel's watching as well. So shout out to little Baby Heel. So, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and open it up with the Marvel book that we're going to talk about this week. And this is Immortal Hulk number 11. This starts a new storyline, Hulk in Hell, and it takes place in Hell. And he's with, I don't know who he's actually with. I can't recall her name. And I'm not completely caught up. I think the last issue I read was issue 7. So I'm not completely caught up on. But if I'm not mistaken, it could still be this reporter that he was, and actually that's who it could be that he met in the beginning of the book. So anyway, it's like a zombie Hulk walking through hell with this girl, and they're talking, having like this conversation. There's also like this, other dialogue like happening through the book, and I'll leave that for you guys to read because it's actually really, really good. And they're having this conversation just pretty much about, I guess just turning into
anger.
Like Hulk turning into human, right? And then she wanting to turn into the Hulk,
Right.
right?
They're getting like into
A deep conversation
about anger.
Yeah,
Like, what is anger?
And then he like poses the question like, "Oh, would you walk through the gamma rays?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course." Like this whole like crazy thing. So anyway, they're walking through hell, and as they're walking through hell, they see Rick Jones, and Rick Jones is supposed to be dead.
Right.
And bro,
It is dead.
He's dead,
Yeah.
Rick Jones. But Zombie Hulk doesn't realize, I guess, that he's in hell. So he's like, "Yo, isn't Rick Jones supposed to be dead?" And she's like, "Yo, what are you talking about? Look at his eyes. Like they're pulled from his sockets. You can see nothing but flesh." And then all of a sudden, like her dad pops up, right?
Yeah.
And her dad is like trying to pull her in, and she's trying to break free. So Hulk's trying to break her free of whatever's like happening with her dad. And she's like, "We gotta get him out of here." And then she's explaining to Hulk how, he died and all this. And all of a sudden, like, I can't think of the general's name.
Puck. No, it was
I think it is Ross.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So then all of a sudden General Ross shows up. But it pans over to Puck, Javi bringing that up.
Yeah.
And he comes across some guy.
Yeah,
and
General Ross, he's
yeah.
like, you got no guts. Like that's what he tells
him. Yeah. And before I guess we get to that part, and that's where the book like really starts to climax. You got Puck finds
From Alpha
this
Flight?
guy. Yeah. And he finds this guy and he starts talking
Absorbing
to him.
Man.
And it's Absorbing Man. And it just so happens he just absorbed like Satan. And he's talking about I'm the devil. Like, and like, bro, I was like, bro, this book is awesome, man. Immortal Hulk is awesome. And then cutting back to Hulk and seeing Ross, all of a sudden Ross starts freaking hulking out into like some demon Hulk. And then they start having this crazy battle, right? And then eventually Hulk just shreds him up. And he's just screaming, Hulk kill, like Hulk kill everybody, like kill everyone, like awesome. And then as soon as that happens, it like pans to like some guy, right? And it looks like some scientist, and it looks like I don't know if it's his dad. I don't, and that's what confused me because then he's like, "Oh, like don't worry, son, like I'll save you from this." And all of a sudden, like now Hulk's like sitting in a chair. And like he's like, and it looks like he's in some sort of gamma ray, and that's where the book ends. So, but it was like, so it's a new start of this new story arc with Hulk and Hell, yeah.
But it's a demon Hulk.
It's like no, it's like zombie Hulk.
No, I'm saying Ross.
Yeah,
with horns.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't have horns, but he
looks like Red Hulk, but like
he looks like Red Hulk, but he's not.
Ross was Red Hulk.
Yeah. So,
Well, how do you mean demonized, Javi?
I wish I had the issue, but no, he looks like just like regular like Red Hulk.
And as you guys are showing that, just shout out to the chat. We got some more people hopping in the
just
chat.
like
We got
people
Shannon. Shout out to
Yeah.
Shannon. What up? We also got Monster Mikey. Thank you, brother, for the kind words. And then we got Discovery Bay Comics, man. If you have not checked out his YouTube channel, check him out. He's awesome. He's always showing all his new pickups, all his hauls. And then he actually started this new idea the other day. And I don't know. I mean, I know you guys aren't really on the YouTube like comic book world, but there's a lot of like comic book YouTubers, and he actually kind of like it's pretty much like a YouTube comic book channel guide, and just letting you know what time certain people are going to be going live or what videos may be dropping. I thought that was really cool, man.
So a channel about a
awesome.
guide to other channels.
So make sure you guys go check out Discovery Bay Comics. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and that notification so you can find out when your favorite comic book, channel is going live or their next episode. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe button here at the Chad 90MF Comics YouTube channel and on the 90 Miles from Comics, iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher, however way you're getting your dosage of this. All right, so that's where Immortal Hulk ended. It was pretty cool. It was really awesome. I highly recommend you get it. Make sure you go read it. We'll go on to the next book, Detective Comics 995. Trying to keep the flow going,
Okay.
Does who wants to review that one?
Okay.
You got it? All right, Justin.
So it picks
take
up
it away.
where the last one left off with Leslie Tompkins being jokerified by Toxin, and Batman having to race her back to the Batcave and telling Alfred to get the antitoxins ready. To get her back there, she's not responding to any of the toxins, and spoilers, she dies.
Yeah, because there's some mutant strain.
Yeah, some mutant strain. He freaks out. He tries to bring her back.
Yeah, but they stretched it out, man.
Oh yeah,
like
it's longer. But,
like Tomasi stretched
I'm
it out.
glad because like you kind of breeze past that. For me, I don't know this character, so it's cool the stretching out, like you said, Chad, of
because you get to like
the
know her.
backstory of right.
Yeah,
You
they
get to
gave
know
her a
her.
little
a lot of
backstory.
people don't know who I knew who she was.
Right,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
who that was. So getting that connection, it made more of an impact when she died.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, like this is the last like human connection he has, less of Alfred, and then the rest of the book happens.
So he freaks out and he tries to bring her back, but Alfred's kind of got to talk him down off of that precipice because he's just he's being the voice of reason. And then
He's being Alfred.
yeah, and then Alfred goes upstairs and then he starts to break down because he was friends with Leslie Tompkins. And then there's a knock at the door, a doorbell goes off, and then Zorro's at the door and stabs Alfred in the chest with a razor.
insane.
Bro, it's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
it's crazy.
Like that was
But it's
One of his-
all related to Bruce's upbringing
Right.
because in the last issue it was the two people who were killed that made to look like Thomas and Martha Wayne.
yeah, but he went to go see the movie
And then
Zorro.
he went and saw
So
Zorro.
it just when Alfred reveals that it was Zorro to him, I'm sure his mind was like, "Yo, what?"
He's like, what?
Yeah, like that's
That's like
crazy.
when I first saw it, I thought it was Zorro. So I go back, I'm like, is that Zorro? And then when I go back to like reading, and Alfred says Zorro, I'm like, I guess I wasn't wrong. That's fucking crazy.
So he patches up Alfred, brings him downstairs. He puts the house. He calls Damien to come in and reinflate his lung because he's got a punctured lung.
I love that he's like, why, David? He's like, because he's done this before.
Because
This
he
guy-
did it to you, man.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Arkham. He puts the house in lockdown. He goes to Arkham. Tells Dr. Arkham, he's like, I need to do some interviews. He's like, I don't know if that is like, I wasn't asking. And then he just goes through and gives like
that panel right here, man. I don't know if you can flash it.
Yeah.
And we should have showed off the Immortal Hulk
That
cover.
like
We will.
2-page splash.
Yeah,
so
Of him
sick.
just
But
walking
he
through
gives-
Arkham with all his rogues gallery.
he gives his Rorschach speech where he's basically like, I'm not stuck in here with you. You're
You're
stuck in here with me.
Yeah.
And then he turns out all the lights, and he's just got the red eyes, and he's getting ready to kick everybody's ass because he's going to question everybody.
Yeah.
But what the fuck is going on?
So
good.
And that's where the book ends.
a great read, man. And
It was a good read.
I'm so happy Tomasi's on Detective
Fuck.
because it's really good and he's killing it. He's killing that.
Who's the artist?
Mankey.
Nice.
Doug
Yeah,
Mankey.
and it's good. The art's good.
Well,
It's
that
one of
shot
those
with
that
him at the
I
end
never-
with the red eyes. So.
I never
Mankey-
thought I would be on 2 Batman books
Yeah, right.
and both be that great.
Well, I was on both of them when Rebirth happened, and then eventually I just started to
We
get off.
dropped Detective because it's kind of what
It started, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then they changed the writers.
But you were back on Detective long before this.
Yeah.
You and Joe were the ones who were really pushing it.
Yeah, I
on
can't
everyone.
remember who was the writer, but it was the Two-Face arc, and it ends with his death, which was great. But of course, that lasts
But-
like
which
2
is-
pages.
Which is weird because Two-Face is actually one of the people in the
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like
In the
he
cage
dies,
here.
he dies in the previous arc, but then that lasts like 2 pages. Like Batman puts together, like, oh, it was Two-Face all along. He's not dead.
oh
Yeah.
He was behind tugging on the strings or whatever. That's like, okay, whatever. But it was still a great read because it was this terrorist organization plotting against Gotham and literally assaulting like the police precinct, causing murders. It was nuts. And then now to jump to this, that's more personable as opposed to like a citywide attacks. To me, it's a cool juxtaposition from the last arc.
Mhm. Well, this is more of Batman being, the Batman, being
Detective.
Detective,
Yeah,
right?
and I was going to say that earlier. The
Right.
one thing I love that Tomasi's doing with this book is just taking Detective back to its origins. Detective, like
Right.
now he's got to play Detective, figuring out what's going on.
Well, again,
How-
that's what he was doing in the previous arc. He's just continuing that, just a new
Yeah.
case.
No, for sure. Well, I guess
So this
we
is-
weren't on it. I guess.
Yeah, it's just that's how he put together. It was
And you were-
Two-Face.
You were begging us to get on it too.
Because it was Joe Moore, and then I got on, and I'm like, bro, guys, this is really good. But as long as we're on it, that's fine. Because this and Tom King's Batman, they're both must reads, and it's crazy how they're both the same titular character.
No,
Yeah.
true.
It's usually one or the other. Usually Batman's really
Right.
good at Detective isn't, or Detective's really good at Batman is. It's kind of like action, or it's kind of like action and Superman right now. Superman's really, really good, but action's starting to kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to even bring that up because I didn't
Yeah.
even get into Action 1006, and it's
Yeah.
on my pull list.
You didn't get one either?
No, I got it. I just
Oh.
never read it.
Damn.
Oh man, that's on my pull list. I didn't get one.
I didn't get one either.
So it's kind of weird, but yeah, I gotta discuss that with somebody, you know. And I guess real quick before we get into Heroes in Crisis, and I wasn't able to get a copy, and just a little shout out because Chris isn't with us from Mad Cave, so shout out to Chris from Mad Cave.
That's
But
right, the trade.
Knights of the Golden Sun, man, that is making some
Waves.
waves.
Some
Have you
headway,
guys
yeah.
seen
Oh,
it, man?
crazy.
And it's pretty cool to say that we kind of had like that first exclusive inside look at that. And really appreciative of Chris giving us that and helping us
Oh,
or
yeah.
allowing us to help them, get that out there, man.
Did you get an issue too?
Did not get an issue
I
two,
didn't
but
either.
I forgot that I have a thumbnail and I was told I can share it. So I will get it digitally to all of us so we can read it and we'll
Sweet.
make sure we talk about it next week. But Chris is going to somehow work some magic for us, I think.
Okay.
So I'll talk to Chris and we'll see what we can do. I can't promise or guarantee anything because I
No,
don't
no,
want to
no.
get Chris in trouble.
No,
But
no,
we'll
no.
talk to Chris, see if we can do anything. But I guarantee we'll all be able to read it for next week because I forgot that he gave me a thumbnail for it. And I can at least give us all that
Nice,
so we
yeah.
can read it that way.
Okay.
So, but shout out to Chris and Mad Cave because they made the comic book invest.
Like 3 weeks now, right?
Yeah,
Like,
well, no, I think it was the first week it made it, but it made some I think honorable mentions. Like
No, it made it onto the list
On
that
the
first
top
that number
10.
one. Made the top 10. I think
last
it was number 10.
last Friday.
Last
it was number
Friday, it was
3.
number 3.
But it made
That was
it-
number 1. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
yeah, but it made the top 10 last 3. It's going for like $30 to $40 if you have a copy off. Going
Nice.
I guess off at aftermarket prices. So if you can find yourself a
Immediately, once I saw it, I was like, "Where's my copy?" I know I got one, and I found it.
And then I know Carlos from on the live chat asked Chris from PPF. No, not Chris from PPF. This is Chris from Mad Cave Studios. He takes care of all of Mad Cave's social media and stuff like that. So
The publisher,
the indie
yeah.
publisher
I mean,
from here.
I'm sure he goes to PPF. You might know him that way, but I'm not sure if we're talking about the same one, Carlos.
No,
but-
Chris was the big guy that used to run.
Yeah, well, and I think that's who Carlos may be referring to, but I'm not exactly sure. So
Yeah.
who knows? Been looking for number 2, Carlos. See, everyone's looking for number 2. It's sold out, man. But I myself, man. So
and I want to jump on that midnight trade.
and then
I
I got
have it,
Yeah.
And I
you
couldn't
told me.
think
It's great,
it-
dude.
on Monday night because I actually did a YouTube channel, MCE. Make sure you go check them out if you guys are into statues. They do a live podcast every Monday called That Geek Show. But I couldn't think of it, but Honor and Curse. That's the name of the other one that was coming out because they asked me about some indie books. And I was like, "Yo, check it
February,
out."
you said?
Yeah, February.
Yeah.
So that's around the corner too. So we got Honor and Curse coming out. So shout out to Chris, man. We miss you this week. Hopefully next week we can get you on. we'll figure
Yeah,
all
we'll be
those
playing
details out.
D&D soon.
So, oh yeah, Javi says you'll be getting to D&D soon. So,
Yeah.
but it was real cool to see that book make that list,
Mhm.
right? This really
Especially
cool,
since we were so
and we're so close to it.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's just something from our backyard, and
Right.
like something.
Usually everything I touch turns to dust. So I was very surprised that way.
All right, Thanos.
You're not wrong.
And shout out to everyone once again in the chat. We appreciate you guys for watching. All right, so I guess we're gonna go into the big book, and we might spend a little time on this one. That's Heroes in Crisis. Actually, you know what? Before that, I mean, because we kind of went through those first couple books kind of quick. Do we want to do a quick Conan review?
No,
No,
Justin didn't like it.
no.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's
Or how
it
about
wasn't
it?
that good?
Let's just talk about it.
Okay.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great. It just, I guess my expectations were really high. I think that's what it was. I set the bar really high on this one.
And the art wasn't that thrilling either.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wasn't it
I
Isad?
think, huh?
Wasn't it Isad? Who was it?
Yeah. I think
No,
it
he
was,
said just to the cover.
Oh, okay, but who?
No, it
was
says Matthew SR.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, it's not bad. I mean, it starts off really good,
It starts off good,
you know,
and
and then it just,
jumps. Once it jumps to the king story, it kind of
my problem with it was I was reading it, and I'm reading it, and then I felt it. Like, I'm reading it, I'm like, God, how much longer is this fucking book? And then I realized I was only a couple pages into it. I was like, all right, here we go. And then it just kind of, I mean, it's enough to get me to read the next issue. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to buy and read the next issue. I just really wasn't like Jason Aaron blown away like I have been by his
By his
stuff in
other
the
stuff,
past.
right?
no,
By his
yeah,
other stuff.
for sure.
So,
This is
I mean, but this is
completely
also
different genre.
it's a completely different world. It's not a world I know. So, and then, you know, my understanding of Conan is not his understanding of Conan.
Yeah,
So I have to relearn
yeah.
the world of Conan.
Okay, so do you think that this what's it, the Razarel,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that's going to tie into the War of the Realms at all?
Well, they've already teased that Conan is going to meet the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
maybe. I just it's one of those. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't great.
It was
just,
yeah.
I was expecting more.
Yeah.
And it was really. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, it was really fucking long.
It would, yeah. The first thing
was
I said when I
really
picked it
long.
up, I was like, "Damn, man, this thing is thick."
And it doesn't. I mean, here it's saying it includes part of a novella. That's not
Yeah.
even the long part of the book.
I didn't read that.
I didn't
yeah.
either.
Yeah.
But I just.
But what was it? Was it just like too much table setting? Too much? Was it wordy?
It was just world building.
It was world
Yeah,
building.
It was
a whole bunch of
complete
back-
world building.
back-
Because it also
Showing
starts.
Conan when he was young, but he's like King Conan
It
now.
made you feel like this issue was going to be the run of like 100 issues. Like that's what I felt.
Well,
like.
see, you also got to remember too. That's a lot of how I believe. That's a lot of. I mean, that's how the movies all began with Conan in the future being telling the story, you know, of his adventures when he was
right.
younger. So this is kind of the same thing. This book just starts off ambitiously. He's like, this is telling how Conan lived and died.
Right.
You know?
It tells you up front. Like,
You know, so I mean, you got a whole story, a whole long story in the middle of, or in the beginning of this book. That's him as a barbarian, and then you get the story at the end as a king with fighting for his realm and everything like that. And then the witch he had fought at the beginning of the book shows up again at the end of the book, and it's just like
Jesus, sounds like a trade. Not like a one issue.
It's the only thing I can say is it's a slog to get through.
Yeah.
I mean, you're reading it and you feel like when you go to the movies and at a certain point you either go to the movies and you're watching the movie, you get to the end of the movie, you go, God damn, that wasn't that long, and you realize you've been there for 2.5 hours,
Right.
or you watch a movie and you go, fuck, when is this thing gonna end? It's only been 15 minutes.
Wow.
You know, that's kind of how this
That's the
book felt.
worst.
It's like when you're reading the book and you go, God, how many more pages is this thing? And you realize you only turned the page 4 times. So it's just like, okay, there's just a lot to absorb here. Now, as the book goes along, because like Kavi said, it's world building, so you really got to learn. I mean, there's a lot of in the head talk and stuff like that, so you got to learn the world that you're in. So maybe as the book progresses, that stuff will go away and it'll become easier to read. But as for this first book, it's just a lot. It's just a lot to hand a person to say.
This is Conan.
Right.
Have fun with it.
Yeah.
It just sounds like
I read it.
Jason Aaron wanted a lot to start, and he's like, I don't know where to start, but this is my Conan.
You need to understand this character a certain way for you to understand the way I'm going to tell this story.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get you in that headspace. So that's what he did, and unfortunately, it just didn't spin off very well.
Imagine the unedited version of this issue.
I read it on my phone. It was I think, easier to read on the phone, maybe.
Really, I thought that would make it more difficult.
I don't know.
And it's also juxtaposed.
But I read it on scan, so it doesn't. It's not like the tapping of.
Like me with Comixology.
Yeah.
And as I'm reading this book, and I'm going, God damn, this is long. I'm thinking in my head, okay, there's another comic book coming out called The Savage Sword of Conan, which is a spin-off of this book already.
Jesus.
And then there's another book for Conan that's coming out. And I'm just thinking, this book is already way too fucking long.
Yeah.
And you're going to spin off 2 more?
Yeah, I'll probably just
You know what sucks is that Savage Sword of Conan, they're all Alex Ross covers.
Nice.
So then you're like, oh.
But what's the creative team?
It's like Tim something.
Yeah, I forgot.
I forgot.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Alex Ross covers. That's what
That
sucks.
means nothing to a digital
read it.
guy.
You should read it. You should just
No,
read it.
I bought
and then-
Conan and I want to read it.
And
And
then
I was
just
telling
let
just
us
on
know.
the here.
Let us know if you
Right,
like
I
it.
was telling just on the way here. I was like, yo, I've been kicking my ass. I still haven't read Conan.
Because I liked it.
Good.
But
why?
I'm a huge fantasy.
Now I hear why
Yeah, but
he
how
doesn't
do
But I'm a
tell me
huge
why.
fantasy D&D.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I
Right.
love D&D.
Like I'm all into.
So, bro,
world
it's
building.
the witch shows up. He's like, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Like for sure, he was like, hell yeah. Like I probably wrote this. This happened to these guys last week in my D&D book. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't
Sounds-
say that. I mean, I'm
I'm
not
just
up par
talking-
with
But
Jason
But
Aaron,
it's
it's,
happening
so-
next week.
But it
Something
sounds-
like this is happening next week.
It at least sounds metal as fuck, and I'm down for that.
It's worth a read. I'm not saying don't read it.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool as fuck. Like
Yeah.
he wins a battle, an arena fight, and he's the guy's beast, right? And he has the spear made handed down to him, and it was made before he was even born, from hellwood or something like that, something crazy. And Conan has a sword where
It's like a rusted thing.
a rusted sword he just picked up the other day because he lost his other one from a drunken stupor.
See, that was the other thing that bugged me too. It's like the Conan I know had a sword, and that sword was very iconic to the character.
This
Right.
would
And
be-
now it's
yeah,
just
it's
picking
just
up any
like-
old weapon.
yeah.
It's like,
I guess it's before, I don't know, but because even the witch calls him out,
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, you're weak, you're fast, but you're
I'm
sloppy."
interested. What I'm
Yeah.
interested to see is if they introduce any of the supporting characters like Valeria or the wizard.
Yeah.
Or just to bring in other character. I mean, not even Valeria. Just if he's going to get a supporting cast, or if it's just going to be him.
Right.
That's what I want to see, because they've talked about the book with wizards and all this stuff like that, and he's got allies that are
I'll par with like the people he fights, pretty
So-
much. Yeah.
that was when I heard the book was coming out. That was what I originally wanted to know was. Is it just going to be about Conan swinging a sword and killing people, or are we going to get a supporting cast of characters that, that flesh everything out and become popular? I'm hoping for that.
Yeah.
And if they do that,
would
then
be
I'll
good.
really love the book a lot more.
Yeah.
Well,
Party books are always
we'll find out in Conan issue 2.
Or not.
or not.
Perfect. All right. So let's bring it over to the big book of last week. I think this book made a lot of it caused a lot of talk amongst the comic book community. A lot of podcasts were talking about it. A lot of YouTubers were talking about
A
it.
lot of posts about just like the different iconography in the panels, man, because this was everywhere on social
First
media.
of all, before we even start talking about the book,
Tom King.
before we even get to Tom King, I think I'm just going to go ahead and say it. My favorite artist right now in this current time is Clayman.
Clayman.
The art in this was phenomenal.
It was great.
Killed it. Batgirl looked great.
Dude, you see emotion.
Wonder Girl
in a
looked
face.
great. Wonder Girl looked great.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was right.
Donna Troy.
yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I love this opening panel.
Lois.
bro,
I thought
look at them
It
legs.
was cool, man.
Look at
Lois
them
looked
I
legs.
just
great.
love how he's carrying carrying Tempest.
Yeah.
And there's no effort whatsoever. She's not even holding him.
Yeah.
She's on her shoulder.
Yeah.
Look at those legs, bro. Ooh, Clayman just knows. And then Batgirl. She
And then
looks so
that
good.
beginning goes nowhere
Always.
because we don't see anything happen with Garth.
Oh, I know. Batgirl just looks so good, bro. Like,
I will say
That
that this
Garth's
was
on
kind of,
Gareth.
That was.
oh, this one. Well, that was the
I
shot
love
of the
it.
night, right?
I love that Lois shot.
And
well,
it-
especially the way it starts. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah,
Whoa. The Superman's kinky. But then you got Batgirl who's taking her pants off to show the bullet hole. Then she got shot by the Joker.
And then that last pan right there, just like, hey, all right, and right there, just like.
But then
perfect.
you've also got like a weird storyline between her and Harley that ends with them like becoming friends.
Yeah.
And now it seems like they're gonna try to like,
She's-
save everyone.
yeah,
But
like
it was
Batgirl
cool. I
was, like,
liked how that
trying to
it ties
rescue
together
them.
that they both have been victimized by the Joker in different ways.
Yeah.
She's like, above all, I understand you
Yeah, and
more
back
than
to that-
anyone
So
else.
that scene, all right, I guess we're jumping real far into the book, but there was so the book opens up. You have Donna Troy. She has her opening segment, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, she's talking about how people don't believe that the city of Troy is real.
Yeah.
You know,
And then-
but you know,
and then she goes, yeah, and then she goes ahead and does that whole thing, and then you get to another part where
well, you've got Batman and Flash investigating
The cornfield.
the
where-
cornfield, and they're pretty much
where,
they're
Sanctuary
split 'cause
is.
it's like we know who did this. Flash says Booster, Batman says
It's
Harley.
Harley. And
And
they're
then-
like shit.
And then you've got Booster doing the lasso test where he's holding the lasso and he's telling the
Right.
truth.
Yeah.
But that gets played off by the fact that he says later to Blue Beetle, where he's like, Wonder Woman thinks that maybe I just believe that I didn't do it.
Yeah,
But,
like,
you know,
He's
Like-
making himself believe that he didn't do it, that even the lasso wouldn't even.
Right, that's what
pick it
Wonder
up.
Woman thinks.
Yeah.
Like he might be
Yeah.
so messed up that he believes he didn't do it, but when in fact he
And Blue
did.
Beetle's like, oh, so you did do it.
oh, bro, that was my favorite part of the book with those two exchanges.
That was my
Like,
favorite.
and then
I love
Nah,
it. And the
it goes
escape-
back and forth,
My
and he's
favorite part
like,
was the end.
this dude. He's like, dude. Like,
He's
you know,
like, dude, like,
come on, dude. Like, I feel like it was a conversation between me and Javi. Like, if we were
That's
just giving
so
each other
good.
shit, you know what I mean?
But Blue Beetle stands behind
which,
Booster.
yeah.
So he's like, fuck, you know, well, he doesn't, he's like, screw heroes. you
Right.
know? He's like,
Right. Oh man.
heroes before bros.
No, bros
Bros
before
before
heroes.
heroes.
And
That's
I
right.
love
Yeah.
it. I was like, yo, I want that as my mantra. Because that's so fucking
This
awesome.
is like,
Like, they'll go against the code.
Yeah.
We can make that our slogan for a little bit.
Bros before heroes.
This was actually my favorite part of the book with Black Canary, where she's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
she
That was
walks
so
out,
good.
and she
Bro.
looks great too,
Bro,
man.
and it's a whole page of just an empty backdrop.
Mhm.
I've never seen that before in any comic where a character goes out of panel, like out of
Yeah.
eye
that's
line
crazy.
or out of sight, and the page just stays in the background.
But then you also get the explanation for why Blue Beetle does that for Booster.
Oh,
because
so
whenever
so
Booster
good.
calls, or whenever Blue
He's
Beetle
always
calls,
there.
Booster's the man who's
Yeah.
always there to help.
And he pretty much says, like, he knows my best friend, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can always count on him. And that's
Yeah.
pretty much with that. And
And
I
he
love
says
that.
why? He's like, because he just maybe sometimes you just need someone there, and he's that guy for me. He's just
Yeah.
someone that's just there.
This whole last scene between Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman in the back
That's my
Oh,
favorite
is
part.
classic.
That's
Oh.
my
Starting
favorite
with Wonder
part.
Woman punching the giant penny, and then just goes, and then Superman standing there, and Batman going, "You
You-
couldn't have done anything about that."
Yeah.
And then I love when Batman's like, all right, so I'll hide the dinosaur.
Well, because he sounds like he's like, Superman's like, "Look, there's something else. I have to tell you too." He's like, "I'll hide the dinosaur."
Yeah.
And then he tells him that Lois has been leaked all these confessions.
She has a plug, right? Or what do they call it?
Yeah,
a
so
source.
A
and, then-
source.
and this is
Yeah.
gonna flash back, and we kind of skipped over it to earlier in the book. So you have that where we said Lois and
Lois.
Superman were kind of in
Well,
bed.
they're just kind of discussing what to do, but they don't tell you what it is.
Exactly, and then this is where it's revealed that Lois actually has the videos from
The sanctuary.
The sanctuary.
To which Batman responds like, "No, those things don't
Impossible.
exist.
They don't.
They're sent to the league as soon as they're done."
He created Sanctuary.
Yeah.
And-
Like
and-
it's revealed
and-
that fucking Batman was
Superman's
behind
like, no,
Sanctuary
bro.
all around.
I've seen them. They're real.
Yeah.
And that's when Batman's like,
He like sticks his
Ah,
fingers into
That's what I'm saying.
Superman's chest.
That's what I'm saying.
dude.
Like, the iconography has been all
like,
over social media.
what?
That imagery of his finger on the
Yeah.
S has been everywhere on social
It
media.
was like,
Yeah,
That's
you
fucking
corn
crazy.
fed.
You corn-fed, don't you? How you think it's a damn coincidence that,
Yeah.
that this happens after the murders? We need to investigate. We need to have already investigated this. And he's like, Lois, the source, whatever. And it's like, great. Now I'm going to break the dinosaur.
Yeah. Because he kind of knows it's true, but like,
I like it.
But Superman does a
Damn,
little one
like-
in on him because he's like, when is
Oh,
the story
yeah.
going to come out? He's like,
Yeah.
that's why I decided to take it out.
And then it was
up
came out
like
35 seconds ago.
Yeah. And the whole last is the actual story, is the last piece of the book. Is
Yeah.
The last story.
It's very short. It's not.
Yeah. So if you read the ends.
But she
Oh,
pretty
but then-
much says like, here are all the tapes. Like,
But then you get the whole Batgirl and Charlie last
Finding,
panel. There's like the dynamic.
they're gonna
duo.
go save the world,
Yeah, it's like
bro.
the dynamic
I'm
or
telling
duo.
you, bro. That's what it's felt like.
It's just
They're
like,
gonna
oh, the
go save
world, the Batgirl gets the information that the Sanctuary stuff gets leaked.
yeah.
He's like, oh, things are going to change. He's like,
They
what, the
even
world?
draw that. They draw the lettering. It's like,
Yeah.
and she gets the beep on her belt, and she's like, oh shit.
Yeah, and Harley's like, whatever. The world needed changing anyways.
I like how
I
when
love that.
when they're becoming friends, Batgirl's like, oh, Batman's gonna find you. I found
See,
you first, but
first.
Batman's gonna find you, and
This-
he'll make you one of his.
Right, and he's like, because he doesn't
victims.
understand. He's just gonna pick you up and
He's gonna
treat you exactly the same way, or just
Yeah.
like another female victim that just
Yeah.
needs help.
Yeah,
Yeah. This book, more than anything, but never mind the fact this book is really good. It's one of the best books of the week. But this book, more than anything, just reiterates the fact that Tom King and Clayman both need to be on Justice League.
Yeah,
Both need to be running that.
yeah.
You know, even if it's a brand new Justice League book, like Justice League America, I don't care. That Tom King and Clayman need to spin off out of this book and do a Justice League.
How can we talk to Jim Lee, bro?
Yeah,
Make that happen.
get him on the phone.
Start tweeting at him.
I like the
Yeah,
segment because
start
you
tweeting.
pass by, because a lot of the book is a lot of good pairings,
Mhm.
a lot of cool pairs, and we see Black Canary and Ollie of Green Arrow, and you see him with the bow about to shoot it off over a cliff over the ocean. And he has a hat at the end of the arrow, like it's paying for some kind of like tribute for Roy. Yeah, for Arsenal who died at Sanctuary. So I just, man, I loved that so much, because the whole book, that's what this theme of this one was just pairs, and everyone paired off and just fleshing out each of their characters and their emotions towards each other.
Mhm.
And it was,
You
it's
corn fed.
it's something odd to be talking about in a superhero book of not only PTSD, but just how do you pick up the pieces after some kind of trauma.
Mhm.
And it's just, that's awesome. I can't believe Tom King is bringing that into a superhero book.
I
It's a great book. Should be
Yeah.
reading it if you're not.
And Carlos, I know you asked a question. We'll get to that as soon as we're done talking
think,
about heroes.
you think Batman? Or sorry, do you think Superman like? Because he says he's like, oh, the source, the relationship between a source and a reporter, because he's himself is a reporter.
He says that.
Yeah, he says that like, but he's also Superman.
Right, because you're bringing that because Batman's mad that, like, okay, who gave this to Lois? How
Yeah.
did they get it?
And
He's like, I
Batman,
can't reveal
Superman
the
has
source.
known for a while.
Right.
It's not like he just found out yesterday. You know. Like,
Yeah, I think like issue 2 or 3 or something, or 2, I'm assuming.
Superman's thinking like a human, like a normal
Right.
person. And
Right.
Batman's thinking like Batman.
Yeah.
Like a hero.
but do you think Superman would step it? Like, I guess Clark is more Clark. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the thing is, you know, that's the difference between the two, or at least the way I interpret it is.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Batman who Batman is Batman and Bruce Wayne is the mask.
Yeah, that
With
makes sense.
Superman is the alter identity. He's
Yeah.
always just Clark.
He's always just Clark. That makes sense.
That's because of his parents.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah,
Poke
the
on the-
poking in the chest. Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, it's just, you know, where everybody else is just intimidated, the one person in the entire DC universe that's not, it's got to be.
Yeah.
You know,
It's always,
it's
yeah,
Batman.
for sure.
He's probably so pissed.
And
But he's
it's-
probably like he's even madder because he's even more mad because he knows like Superman's right. Like, you know, like
I would think he's more mad because he should have seen this coming.
right.
Because
That
it's
and
just like,
that
if
too,
if
yeah.
anybody's gonna do this, it's gotta be Clark.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was right is probably making him more mad.
More mad.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Once again, Clayman killed the artwork.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Clay. Shout out to Tom King. Because Tom King is not only killing Heroes in Crisis, he's killing Batman. And I'm excited to see what's going to be happening in Batman 62, which came out today. And I
With,
guess
the
that'll.
return of Professor Pig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I didn't get the A cover. If I need the A cover, I'll go back. And I guess we'll just go
See,
ahead.
I
Got both of those.
I just got the A cover because I hate that
That Frank Miller cover.
Yeah.
that Frank Miller cover. It's not for me.
I got it
Yeah,
for
I got the Frank Miller cover. So that will lead us into our pickups. I guess saying that, I will show off. Well, you have the pig cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, show that off first, and then we'll show off the Frank
So I
Miller.
got the Professor Pig cover.
Nice.
Oh, and real quick before we show the soft hobby, I'll set you up with these two so you can get them. Before Carlos asked in the chat, is the Avengers still worth reading? Just got 1 through 10 on eBay for $20.
Nice.
The one Aaron is writing.
Fuck
Yes.
yes.
That is a great pickup, bro. The fact that you got 1 through 10 for $20,
$20?
good
That's awesome.
pickup. Nice stuff, Carlos. Shout out to you, Carlos. Hashtag gotta get those deals. So as
That's
Javi's
good.
showing off, that is the Batman 62. That's the cover
Okay,
8.
see this
Yeah,
dark frame for
yeah.
that cover.
I know. And then we're gonna have cover B show pop up. There it is, cover B. I'm super behind. Sorry, he was already showing off cover A. But yeah, so that's Batman 62.
Y'all heard about what Tom King said about this Batman issue? Like he says, like, oh, don't worry.
If you're like confused,
if you're
like,
confused,
you're
right.
supposed to be.
You're supposed to be.
So
it's a what is he called it, like a perspective issue. Like
Oh,
you're supposed to be like Batman.
yeah.
You're supposed to be disoriented as much as he is.
And I guess we'll keep the DC theme running. I did wind up.
You got a regular cover?
That's luckily enough, it was in my box.
Yeah, I did.
What?
So-
I had to take
Young
a
Justice.
sketch cover.
So before we get to that, I guess I was say I did pick up Adventures of Super Sons #6, that maxi series.
I dropped
So yeah, did you? Yeah, I thought I dropped
It's a
it,
new
but
character, right?
Who?
This guy.
possibly. I don't know.
He's like Tomorrow Man or something like that.
But I picked.
Tomorrow, man?
yeah, I don't.
Yeah, so I picked up that,
I don't know what it is.
and then I did wind up pick up a Young Justice #1, and so did you. You got the sketch variant.
I got sketch
Let's see it. We'll show them both off.
Oh,
I forget that we're live. I'm working on a better lighting, so be careful with me on that. I guess
They didn't even have. I was there at opening this morning. They didn't even have the regular cover out. They had all the variants. They didn't have any of the.
Yo,
regular.
so you were there at
Yeah,
Open, so I
nice.
missed you because I was over at PPF before that. I was with my brother too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We went.
Well, I was like, I had nothing to do this morning, so I was just like, fuck, I'll go get my books.
What is this Wonder Comics?
So
That's the imprint that they're doing that under.
for Bendis, yeah, and this is Bendis's. I guess you can say his comic line. You know.
Well,
So-
not just him, because
Public.
Sam Humphries is
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
do Dialogues for a
Publishing
Hero,
company.
and then but it's also Naomi, which I think is a Bendis book, is going to be underneath it, and it's actually, if you look at the advertisement, it tells you all about it.
And I'm a Young Justice noob, so this is.
Yeah, you got that
this
one.
is Flash.
That's part.
That's Impulse.
That's Impulse. So I got the Impulse cover because
I've
they
got-
did not have the regular cover.
I've got the entire run of the original Young Justice.
Oh yeah. Sweet. I gotta find that. Did you?
But I'm excited to read it. Bendis.
I'm curious.
Of course. Anything
With
else
a new
DC in
new
your
introduction of a new Lantern too. in this
Right. Yeah.
Team.
That's what I
pool?
heard.
Anything else DC in your pool?
DC. Yeah, I got the Green Lantern. I got
Cool.
both covers. So I got
Oh,
the
yeah.
regular him versus God.
Sweet. So show that off.
Sweet.
And then what did you download DC, Kevin? And then
Batman.
we'll switch
and
over to
then
Marvel.
The variant.
Try to keep
Beware my
themes.
power, Green Lantern.
And then there's the variant.
Cop versus God.
For those that are listening on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher, and soon to be Spotify, we got to make that happen. You can check me out at Chad90MF Comics because now we're streaming live. We're streaming the podcast live at Chad90MF Comics. So make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and that bell so you get that notification when we go live. Guys, I know this may sound crazy, but I'm only 4 subscribers away from 100 subscribers on
That's
YouTube. So I need you guys to help me get there. So hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that notification.
Do it.
Now, Kevin, you downloaded what from DC?
Batman.
So you already know Batman 62 will be reviewed next week right here.
And
Now-
even more awesome news, if you're a digital reader, DC now is a part of Comixology Unlimited. So now even more savings. 50% off all books and a huge fuck ton of like
Back
6 months
issues, right?
plus
Yeah,
issues
we should get
is now a part of Comixology. Bro,
sponsored by
$6.
them.
We gotta figure,
$6 a month.
we
We
gotta
should
figure
do a
out
commercial.
for Comixology.
Yeah.
No, see, Kevin's getting paid on the side.
Yeah.
I wish.
It seems
I wish
like
they gave
it,
me
right?
the comics for free.
It seems like it.
That's
All right,
awesome.
so now
That's
we'll
awesome.
switch over to the Marvel side of things, and I'll just go ahead and get these 2 out of the way because I don't know if you got these.
I got the Star Wars.
You get all right. So I guess we both got Star Wars 59. This is a
At
cool
this
little
point, I'm
cover.
not even reading them anymore. I'm just getting the run.
Yeah,
Because it's like I've been on it since the beginning. Why stop now?
no, I hear
You know?
you. I feel like I'm on the same boat actually.
You know, I'm just whatever.
The
I
one
may read
week-
them, I may not.
The 1 week I tried not to pick it up, I wind up picking it up. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, look at this cover. All right.
Well, a lot of these covers are really, really cool, so it's worth it for that. And that original Star Wars run, it's just it's fucking skyrocketed.
Yep, for sure. Keeping Star Wars related, I got Star Wars Age of Republic, One Shot, Jango Fett, Jodie Hauser. She was at a local comic book shop recently, I believe.
She was at Tate's.
Was it Tate's? So.
Yeah.
Well, you know that Tyler Kirkham, the cover artist, he's going to be down at Multiverse Corp.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, that's a
And
thing
then
for sure.
another guy is going to be, oh, God, somebody else is going to be down there, too. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Jango Fett. Yeah. So, all right, keeping the Marvel theme going. I guess I'm going to save that one for last. The big one, well, a big one, I guess, for us would be Avengers number 12.
Oh yeah.
There is actually confirmed first new team appearance.
Nice.
The Agents of Wakanda.
Agents of Wakanda, exactly. It's a super sick cover. Jason
the
Aaron's, Ed
variant-
McGuinness.
I don't have it. Did you grab the variant or no?
No.
No.
The variant's actually really nice, too. It's
an
a-
homage, or not an homage.
It's a Phil Noto cover,
Yeah.
and it's got, like, Spider-Man in the black costume on, and it's actually a really nice cover. I debated whether to grab it or not.
But there was like 8 Phil Noto covers, right? Because on the
Yeah.
back of it says like
Yeah, he did a
6
bunch
of 8 or something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like
Super
their
sick.
numbering variants.
But super excited. I think that will definitely be one of the books as well next week that we'll be reviewing. So you
Oh,
can
yeah.
definitely pencil in Batman number 62, Avengers number 12. Next book on the list, we have Thor number 9. As we all know, Jason Aaron's getting ready for the War of the Realms. We're all in on War of the Realms, correct?
Oh, yeah.
And Kevin, please mention if you downloaded any of these as we're showing.
Yeah.
up. Yeah. So
So far so good.
all right, cool. I don't want you to lose your voice in this
Thank you.
segment. Or you have lost your voice, haven't you?
Yeah, but
Yeah, okay. Well, I hope you're feeling it. Hey, yo, we got Frank the Tank in the house. What up, Frank? Thank you for joining us, bro. Hope all is well. We're going
up,
through what we
Frank?
picked up this week.
What's up, Frank?
So,
And just to get back to you on that, so Tyler Kirkham is going to be at the Multiverse Comics on January 25th, and then oh wow, we already missed it. Never mind. Scott Lobdell, the creator of the Age of Apocalypse.
Oh wow.
He was at there on the 5th.
oh,
We
okay.
missed him. Oh,
All right, no
never
worries.
mind.
Hey, no worries, no worries. All right, and then the last book of the week, I think the book I'm probably most excited for. I know
I
Cates
even grab
didn't
it.
write it, but it is all still connected to what he's doing with Venom.
But
and,
it's Stegman though.
and Stegman is a good friend of his, and Stegman was doing the
He's
art.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's. I think did Stegman do the story too?
No, he
No,
just
did the art? Well, it's Stegman art, so Stegman's been killing it. But this
I
is
looked. It didn't say Kate, so I passed.
Yeah.
Web of Venom, Venom Unleashed.
it's just all the Web of Venoms have been good so far.
Okay, and I hate to tell you this. Well, actually, you may or may not like it, but spoiler alert, I kind of already read something about it, but I heard it pretty much revives Cletus Cassidy, but not just Cletus Cassidy as we know him, with some crazy god complex.
Yeah.
So that's what I read, and I was like, "Ooh,
Wait,
all right."
but didn't that already happen in the Carnage?
Yeah,
Reborn
but
one?
I guess this continues whatever that was.
Oh, cool. That's
So-
why I wanted more of that, anyways.
So this was, I would say, my pick of the week, and I'm excited to read and see what happens with
I
it.
still didn't
too.
read Carnage
No, you-
Board.
So yeah, I know you did read Carnage Board.
Yeah,
It's
I
good.
have it. I just didn't read it.
It's good. And I remember we reviewed it, and you were talking about like how it connected to something from like ages ago.
Yeah, from New Avengers.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
Well, I was gonna say before we get into
I got
those
some
indie
indies.
books, Kevin, was there anything else outside of Marvel that you downloaded?
No,
that we might
in
have talked
Marvel, I
about?
also downloaded Black Order number 3.
Okay.
Black Order number 3, which I think I mentioned on the podcast. Number 1 didn't hit for me, but then
Two
it
was
really
a
hit the
honorable,
stride,
was an honorable mention for you.
and I'm really thinking like if 3 kills it for me, I have to tell you guys like you guys need to read it too, because
Okay.
especially that you liked Cosmic Ghost Rider. This is more in vein of that same tone, just with the Black Order, with Ebony Maw, Corvus Glaive, Proxima Midnight. It's really good.
Cool.
But let's see how 3 is. I don't want to give it this glowing review yet.
All right. Well, and I guess Black Order as an honorable mention this week
Yeah,
too. So
that's-
make
that's
sure you
my
check
honorable
that
mention.
out. All right. So Javi, show us what indie books you found, and I actually picked up some back issue 2s, and I'll talk about those next.
I got Proxima Centauri. I'm catching up on this.
Okay.
It's a Pharrell Derimpi. but he draws it and he writes it, and it's like his own little crazy universe. It's about
It looks like the monsters of like where the wild things are.
yeah, a little bit. I mean, he takes inspiration from like a lot of different places. And Stellar, which I told Kevin about a little bit.
Yeah, I asked you about that because I dig sci-fi.
And this is it was a 6-issue run, if I'm not mistaken. I have all issues. Like I was just missing number 5, so I'm just gonna probably just binge read it all now that I have it. But it's about some crazy powerful intergalactic force, like it's like an army almost. And there's the girl. She breaks away from it, kind of does her own thing. They're after her, but she's also trying to find out this crazy mystery in outer space. And crazy sci-fi.
So from a couple of weeks ago, I finally got the second issue for Middle West, which I read the first issue for and I really liked.
Scotty Young, right?
Scotty Young book.
Scotty Young writing, but not doing the art.
No, it's Jorge Corona's doing the art, but it's still in the vein of Scotty Young, so it's really good.
Nice.
I really enjoyed the first issue. I didn't know if I was there, but when I got to the end of the first issue, I couldn't wait for the second one.
Nice.
So, and it was a couple of weeks ago it came up, but they finally got it to me after digging. And then the second issue of Prodigy, which I have the first issue and I haven't read yet, but I figured I'll just keep going with it.
That's Mark Millar.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
Cool. That's a dope cover.
We got a little indie spotlight.
Yeah, well, my indie thing was Aliens Dust to Dust number 3.
Those covers were awesome.
Yeah, I mean not 3, 4. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just bought 3. I need to read 3, and then 4 came out today.
There's some awesome covers about.
Yeah, awesome covers and just really fucking good.
Yeah.
If you're a fan, me and Justin were talking about like aliens and like old school 80s sci-fi. If you're a fan of that, get on that. If you're a fan of the franchise, get on that. If you just like alien shit or just cool, dope indie stuff, get on that. It's not Image, it's Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, yeah.
Shout out to Me Man in the chat.
Me Man.
Unfortunately, I got to hide what Me Man just said in the chat so we don't get demonetized, hopefully. But you can only imagine what he said to you, Kevin. It was 4 letters and Kevin. So shout out to Me Man. Me Man's live in the chat. Shout out to all of you guys watching. If you can do me a huge favor, go ahead and hit that like button for me. If you aren't already, hit that subscribe button. I'm only 4 subscribers away from hitting 100. And who knows, maybe I'll do a giveaway when I hit 100. So guys, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button.
So
I guess
Tom King just put this on Instagram 40 minutes ago. Batman and Catwoman.
Oh, Catwoman! Holy shit!
In the Batmobile. In their costumes.
Having
a
like,
moment.
And they like lean into each other.
Oh, wow.
Coming up in Batman.
An honorable mention for this week is the variant to Harley Quinn, number 57. It's a Julian Tedesco cover. I had it in my hand. I put it down, and I think I'm going to kick myself for doing that.
Damn.
But one of the things about this book is Frank Cho's no longer doing the variant for which I was getting.
Yeah.
Frank Cho is still credited as the variant cover writer in the book, so that's an error.
Weird.
Yeah.
Well, like print.
Yeah, and then when you get to the title, or the title page happens to be at the end of the story in this book, because I actually looked it up while I was there. It says variant cover by Frank Cho, he didn't do the cover, so it's an actual error on the book.
crazy.
I put it down, so somebody's crazy.
That's right. All right, and I guess I'll go into what back issues I picked up real quick. I have here Avengers 682. Now, this right here, my friend, is the first mention of Immortal Hulk. So it's not like his first appearance, but I think it's like the first advertisement or possibly like the first mention.
Explain to me, what is Immortal? Is he a different charter? What is this?
Okay, so
Hulk.
he's
still Bruce.
It's still but remember he was he was killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the Hulk as a zombie.
Okay.
And he's trying to find his way back. That's the only way I can say it. Like he's trying to find, but he's trying to become human.
Bruce
again.
is not in the book. It's just Hulk.
Yes and no, I guess you can say.
I always thought it was
like it's still Bruce, but like he doesn't. Yeah, but like he doesn't really know like who he is. Like he's not like he but he's starting to like piece things back. I believe,
Okay.
like reading the beginning of the
I see.
run.
Okay.
So, but no, it's a lot of fun. So this is like the first mention of Immortal Hulk. It's not like worth anything or anything like that, but I'm just on this big Immortal Hulk run, so I'm just trying to, I guess, get the things for it. And what's cool is Ewing mentioned it here, and he's the one that's writing that run. But the first appearance happens 2 issues later in '84, and Mark Waid wrote that issue. So that was just something I thought it was just kind of interesting, you know. So, and then the big pickup today in the back issues is this King Size Annual Avengers number 10, and this, as some of you may know or may not know, is the first appearance of Rogue. So it's pretty cool back issue to add to the collection, man. So yeah, man, super excited to add that to my collection. That was pretty much everything that we picked up this week. Outside of that, in the comic book world, we're all missing Stan Lee. I do want to mention, I do like all the Stan Lee tributes that they've been giving him in the Marvel books.
No,
the
they
first
did
like
one
2
in DC.
Yeah, they did one in DC.
Yeah,
The
they put it out
ends.
to our prestige
No,
competition.
competition.
In honor of the distinguished competition.
Yeah.
That's what it was called. DC.
Excelsior.
DC distinguished competition.
Yeah,
And then that was awesome.
That was awesome.
And I
yeah.
also I've been digging the whole like the first 2 pages being black, and then you get that little like memorial.
Yeah, it's nice.
I like
And then
the
the
more-
soapbox at the end.
I like the moralizing, but I'm getting tired of the covers, the banner covers.
Yeah, the banner.
The-
Yeah, because this is the second week to do that.
Yeah, no, this is like the 4th week.
Oh wow.
Oh, I do got to shout
You
out.
have to mourn for 7 nights.
Well, no, I don't have a problem. This needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just I'm waiting for the regular comic covers to come back. Is what I'm saying.
Shout out to me, man, because he's saying Immortal Hulk box. He did pick me up or buy me an Immortal Hulk box today.
Nice.
So, thank you. Shout out to me, man, for that. But yeah, no, been digging all the homages they've been having for Stan Lee, man. As 2019's rolling along, we got a lot of movies out on the horizon. We're all excited for, of course.
DC shows, man.
You know-
Freaking Young Justice.
Yeah, I haven't seen them yet. I
I
have to.
know. Me and Javi did.
So
I haven't
hopefully,
seen it yet. But
Oh, I thought you did.
no, not yet.
So,
because you were
I
the one
just
that told me it
know
was
about
3
it.
episodes.
I would say this:
so I looked
if
at
you
it.
guys are cool, I'll make sure I'm caught up, and next week I'm totally down to talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's the same as Titans every Friday.
Yeah, but there's 3 episodes,
But it's
right?
3 episodes, but they're 20 minutes.
All right, so I can binge
they're
it.
fast,
All right,
man.
well, that's cartoon.
They end
for you.
awkwardly. To like a regular viewership. They end. You're like, what the fuck? That's it. But like to your point, Justin, of like when something is that good, you're like, where did the time go?
Yeah.
It goes by, boy, it flies.
Maybe it's one that you should just stack them up so you can just.
No, but that's why. That's why they're doing 3 every Friday, and then the 3, like how when Javi told me, I'm like, man, 3, that's a lot. When I saw them, they made sense. They felt like an arc.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, this felt like one
And it's
cohesive.
45 minutes. It's 40 minutes, or
Right.
It's like an hour.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like an hour. So, it was great. It was good to go. Damn it, I'm sorry.
You're good.
It was great to go back to that team, go back to that world. They're all older, so you're dealing with you see bits of the new team, and you see also kind of like the environment of like what's going on in that world, and something major happens, and I'm not going to give it away, but it's like a good backdrop for like to set up the rest of what's going to happen in the like 26 episodes of this season. But it's good. I can't wait. And then new intro is dope.
Did you read today that DC's struggling for subscribers?
Really?
For
What?
the streaming service.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
That's
not hard to
surprising.
believe, man.
Yeah.
Not many people latched
You
on
got-
to
you got-
Titans.
I gotta give in.
Just kidding.
Yeah, not a lot of people latched on to Titans. Hell, I subscribed for
Titans.
other old shows. I wanted to
I guess-
rewatch Batman and
Yeah, that's what I got.
Batman Beyond. Right, that's what I got it for. Titans was a plus. I didn't dig Titans that much. I out of the episodes we saw, I maybe liked half.
Okay, well that's 50%.
It's just
Yeah.
you could tell just they were struggling with that Titan series, with either writers or directors or just some kind of cohesive story like
Well,
screenplay.
The way
But I understand why it won't pick up
I gotta
steam.
say this real quick. We gotta get E-Man on because he's blowing up the chat. But he was
That's
saying
funny.
Young Justice super brutal and dark.
Yeah,
And he's the other
because it's
thing.
not rated, so
And I
it's not on
think the
TV.
other thing that he mentioned real quick that was cool is that he said definitely age with its audience. So that's making me super interested in even seeing that more. And then he's saying that the app is brutal. It's really wonky and weird to navigate. So man, just shout out to you. But next Wednesday, bro, you got to get on the show, bro. We need you here, man. We got to get you on, bro. You got a voice and we want to hear it. Sorry to cut you off, Justin.
Patrol.
What were you going to say?
I don't know. Oh, I think
DC streaming app?
well, I think when Disney finally releases
Oh,
their
forget
Disney
about
Plus,
DC's going
because
underwater.
the way
You're absolutely
the
right.
way they're talking about the shit that's going to end up on this Disney app, it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
I mean, all the stuff that they're talking about, it's going to end up on there.
Bro, we're getting that Mandalorian show.
We're getting that show. There's another Star Wars show that's going to be on
You're
there.
getting Vision and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
like
and then, not to
Thor.
mention you've got the entire
Or not Thor,
Disney-
the Loki show.
yeah. You got the entire Disney back catalog, which is all going to be pulled from everything else that's going to end up on there.
Right.
And then you've got all of 20th Century Fox, which I had posted this week about how there's a very big chance that Disney might dissolve 20th Century Fox completely, and all those genre movies will go away.
That
My
breaks
favorite
my
was
heart,
Kevin
man.
was like, that was my biggest fear.
It was, but I knew
It's
that
happening.
I knew it was happening, and now just it coming to
But
fruition
the one thing,
is horrifying.
that they did say was like, oh, but Fox Searchlight, they're fine. They can keep
Thank God.
because they won like
Thank
4
God.
Oscars.
That's right. That's the only studio that's smaller that wins those Oscars.
But think about it, like Disney now owns Predator, now owns Alien. Now, I mean, all these genre stuff that we were just talking about
Right.
could potentially just be put on a shelf and forgotten, or be sold off.
That's what I'm thinking. Like somebody else might pick up the rights.
I mean, if that happens, I hope then it's just done better. Because then, again, to our point, like when we're talking about it, it's just every sequel has been bad. So if you inject some kind of new blood into it, then I'm okay with it.
It's just hopefully somebody gets their hands on it. I was excited when they were talking about Neil Blomkamp coming in and doing an Alien, you know.
Right. His version of an Alien
but
4
that
or
went
5.
away. Yeah, but that went away.
But
That died with
to
Ridley
your
Scott.
point of both the DC streaming service doing bad, and then the incoming Goliath that's going to be the Disney Plus, it might of course just overshadow it. But I think the DC streaming service is kind of already gearing up for what's to come because Times appeared now internationally on Netflix. If that does well, they're gonna be like, well, look. On another platform, we're doing better.
yeah.
And what just happened now? What did I mention earlier? Now DC Books are on Comixology. So now there's even less reason, less inclination to get to the DC streaming service because another part was the comics on the streaming service.
Yeah, but you didn't have access to everything.
Right, it wasn't
Very
everything. And it kept refreshing every week,
Yeah.
which was not blatantly explained when this first rolled out. The comics, if you're reading something and then let's say from one week to another, they're like, okay, nope, it's gone. Now we're spotlighting something else, and you're reading something, you're fucked. Like you can't continue reading it. So, but then now with this thing with Comixology Unlimited, you have everything. You have a lot. So if they dissolve, let's say the DC streaming service, they're fine. They're finding other outlets. They're finding other platforms to strive, but just hopefully they gain their footing and keep it there.
I think they need a solid hit to do that, something to keep people coming back.
Hopefully it's Doom Patrol, man, because that looks good.
Does
I can't say one way or another.
does,
I could be
How much
wrong.
Doom Patrol can you get? You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's just
true.
that Doom Patrol is so unknown. It's such a
Exactly.
deep
Yeah.
cut
Right.
that it's hard to believe that something
Popular,
like that
yeah.
would be. But it could happen.
It
I mean,
could.
it's got the pedigree because it's got fucking Timothy Dalton and it's got Brandon Fraser as the voice of Robot Man. So I mean, you've got the pedigree on the show. There's another guy.
Matt Bomer, Luke Wilson was announced recently.
Yeah, so you've got people on the show. So that could very well work in their favor. You know, it could be just enough of an unknown that people go, "What the hell is this?" And then they just watch
And
it,
they just
not
pick it
realizing
up.
what they're
And
watching.
I love that episode in Titans when they
when they show
showcase
up, yeah.
them. To me, that's one of my favorite episodes.
That was one of the
season.
and a lot of people's favorite episodes.
It was.
in that series.
It was just quirky enough for the comedy, but just interesting enough to grab your attention. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yo,
And
we
of
got
course,
Joe in the chat. What up, Joe?
the heel himself.
With baby, he's probably rocking baby heel and like feeding him with the bottle at the same time.
Watching us streaming and have Young Justice in the background.
Yeah, he's like in the pop room. Just so he can like take in all the the geekiness, you know. Dang, yo, Joe, we miss you. Shout out, Joe, we miss you. Man, we talked about a lot this week, man.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, the time. If you guys can believe it, we're already an hour in.
Nice.
Like, it seems it went pretty quick. I mean, I'm sure we all saw that Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were already in before.
Right.
There's no.
Of course, it confirms it. There's even more things that we want to see. So
You got the blast and everything. It was a good trailer. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. And I had to watch it a couple more times after.
yeah, I think we all did.
Yeah, a lot of people like that it finally showcased more of the Carol character because she's been stoic and like so serious in all the other trailers.
I like that this is the beginning of because you have that scene between Coulson and Fury where they're like, oh, do you think we'll find more? Like, oh, this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
This all takes place before Iron Man,
And I also heard it was confirmed that she can time travel.
which I don't know how.
So I want to watch that.
Yeah,
but I also like the showcase of
You gotta say,
Jude Law because he's really serious and he's like very. I really like the part he's playing.
yeah, it's good. It seems looks good. So, man saw that Joe entered the chat. He goes, "Yo, Joe." So Joe, shouts out, "Yo, hi, Infamous." And I forget that you're Fat Beard. So you gotta change your thing. So when I see you on my live chats, I'm like, "Yo, what up, Justin?"
Yeah.
You gotta change. But the best
I was
is,
notorious in the last thing.
you know. So the best is Joe goes, "Yo, hi, Infamous," and me-man's like, "Yo, it's Kyle." I just think it's so great. I love you guys. I miss you guys. We need Joe and me-man on the show.
We do.
So, and we gotta get Frank the Tank on one of these days. We've had him on before. He's got a crazy ass opinion, and I would love to have him on. He always says, "Oh, you guys don't want to hear my opinion." I'm like, "Yeah, you do," or at least I do, because he likes to stir up the pot. So shout out to Frank the Tank. We got 6 people watching. If you guys haven't done it yet, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell for me. Definitely like the video so we can help get it out to the world. I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank all of you guys once again for joining. Kevin, Javi, Justin, for coming out my way this week, talking comic books, which we love to do. I guess before we wrap up the show, I did finally start playing Spider-Man.
Nice.
Phenomenal, man. If you have not played it, go play it.
Even just for the story.
Yeah, I'm about 40%. I'm actually 40% through it. So once I get to the end of it, I'll think about that DLC. But speaking of DLC, because Silver Linings is the first one, and I believe it has to do with what, Black Hat?
I think so.
And like
No, the Black Cat's the second
Oh,
one.
second one? Okay.
all right, the first one is what?
Silver Linings is about Silver
Silver Sable.
Silver Sable. That's
Okay,
right.
and then you got Black Hat as the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you guys saw it today, but it has been reported that
The
this
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four is getting the DLC, and that's something we all love, right? We all love us some Fantastic Four, which we didn't read that wedding issue or we're talking about
We
it.
didn't talk about it.
Yeah, and you said it wasn't much,
I didn't read it.
Yeah. But
That's another long one.
yeah, but slot on Fantastic Four,
That's been
He's
awesome.
been killing it. Can't wait for the next arc with Doom and Galactus.
and the thing about that, we have Doom versus Galactus. Every Fantastic Four fan's dream,
Right.
and we've never even seen it. To think about it, we've never even seen that. You know what I mean? So definitely, we'll be talking about that once that comes out. So be on the lookout for that. So outside of that, is there anything else anyone wants to talk about?
We were gonna mention our favorites of the year of last year.
Oh, we can do that real quick. Our favorite reads of last year, and then we'll end it on that. I'm cool with that.
Or even
Because
movies.
we didn't
Or
talk about it on the episode before. You weren't here.
Right.
But I mean, I'll say this: I think my favorite read of 2018 had to be. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is Venom, man.
Really?
Yeah, that was my favorite read because you have to remember Thanos Wings was 2017. It was the end of 2017 that we got Cosmic Ghost Rider, and it might have finished up in 2018, but I don't think you can consider that as a 2018 read.
What? Cosmic Ghost Rider?
No, Thanos Wins.
No.
Yeah,
I read it in 2018.
Right, but that was
yeah,
that was
and if we're talking our favorite reads of 2018 from 2018, I'm gonna go with Venom. It made me care about a character that I didn't, I guess, have much interest in before. Gave him backstory, gave him layers, and shout out to Marvel, I guess, in their timing, but they gave him at a time right before the movie came out and all that, so the hype was perfect for it. Yeah. And I think just Donny Cates he killed it, man. And I guess you can say honorable mention, next to it, and it's probably 1A and 1B in a sense, but Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yeah, I thought that was phenomenal as well. So those are the two that I would say that really stuck out to me from 2018, and they just so happen to be Donny Cates books. I guess the reason why I might have just said Venom is because it's continuing. Right. You know what I mean? And we're gonna get more of it.
For me, it's I gotta go with Avengers. Avengers is my book from last year. Cool. And here's the thing: it's like it was hard because it was Avengers. It's Avengers, Thor, and Cosmic Ghost Rider. I give Cosmic Ghost Rider the honorable mention just because it was a miniseries and it ended so well. Yeah, man. Oh my god, that book ended perfectly. But it was a limited series. But for an ongoing book, I got to give it to Avengers because whenever the new Avengers came out, that was the first book I read. Because we were going back and forth because we had the Justice League too. Right. And that was always the first book you read. Strong, right. But Avengers for me just kind of pulled ahead, and it was always the book I was really ready to read. And then once, even the few books that were filler were still really good, and it's got that whole storyline of the past with the original Avengers, like the 1,000 years. Really does. I really dig that the whole Avengers from the 1,000 years ago with Odin, and then that's got to be my book of the year for me. It's just I can't wait for the new issues. I can't wait to read the new issue. I would have read it earlier, but I had to read yours. I try not if I get the books early, I try not to read because then I'm gonna come on the show and be like, "Well, I read this today." And you're like, "We didn't read it yet." Shut up.
I mean, I wish that we could. I mean, if we all could, I would say, I know it's hard for us. It's hard, yeah. But trust me, if we could, man, I wish I could just read
just same day, yeah.
But I actually might have to start doing that for those guys that I'm working with on the side because I think that might be something they may want. But of course, I'll be on their channel, it'll be something completely different. But yeah, man, that's something that I thought about too. Because there's been a couple times because you guys know I'm lucky enough, I can make my schedule. So I try to take Wednesdays off so I can be there at open. And there's been a couple books that I went at open and I just couldn't wait. And I even said it here on the show. I'm like, man, I wish I could talk about this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but no, we're gonna keep our format, for sure.
Yeah, but I gotta give it to Avengers. That's gotta be the book of the year for me. And then honorable mention Cosmic Ghost Rider, just for the way it ended. I mean, that book just stuck the landing.
Yeah, bro. He killed it.
And it was great because through the whole book, where Kevin's telling us, he's like, I can't read it. And then we got to that last book, he's like, you're gonna be reading this book. Yeah. And he read it.
Yeah. The Comic Ghost Rider.
What was your favorite read of 2018?
For me, if that is like how Justin brought up, like that's a good judge of if I could not wait to read it, I have to mention it. To me, it's a toss up between these two books that every time they came out, and I would always say it, and I would always tell Chad, like, I have to read this today, and this has to be Darth Vader.
Yeah. Vader was a great run too.
Darth Vader, I have to say that one above Bendis Superman. So between Charles Soule's Darth Vader and Bendis' Superman, I have to give him more to Vader. Superman. I'm shocked. I'm saying Vader.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Because as much as I love Star Wars next to anyone else, but I would not consider myself like you or like other friends that I have of like, oh, those are the Star Wars heads, like the big fanatics. I don't consider myself a part of that, but just Charles Soule's Darth Vader was fucking
I gotta get on this guy's level, don't get it on me.
Just Darth Vader comic, I would say even the podcast.
Yeah. I know, bro. But I'm like, now I'm like, damn, bro. Like,
but Darth Vader comic,
true,
And every Wednesday when we would be here and they would come out a new issue, I would have to read Vader, man. And that was the first book that I would even mention in the chat. I'm like, yo, Vader was fire.
No, true.
Everything that happened on Vader, that was fire. Like, and whenever we talked about it, I want to be the first one to mention of what I liked about it. And I have to say, like, that was my favorite read. Besides Bendis' Superman that we brought, remember in in Hobby in the Dragon's Lair. We were like, yo, what is Bendis gonna do for DC? And I remember we were all like, what is he gonna do? And we were all like suggesting what he might do. And when he came out with Superman with Man of Steel first, we were all like, all right, this is a good setup. How is he gonna stick the landing with the Superman book? And he fucking did, man. That was the Rogal Zal going to the Phantom Zone, just all that shit down to fucking Zod appearing in the Phantom Zone with him. Just that to me, that was another book that if it wasn't a Vader book, I had to read Superman that same night. And just to me, it's not even a toss up. It's those two are my number ones.
Yeah.
Avi?
Venom for sure. That's got to be my top.
Thank you, because you got me on that.
But,
Yeah, all of us on it, I think.
Yeah.
That's even that, like, sharing that experience with you guys, like, that's just awesome.
Yeah,
but
it was from you guys talking about it. Like, okay, I'll jump on this.
But like following like Donnie Cates on Twitter and Ryan Stegman on Twitter too, like they have huge egos,
right?
And, like they talk like so much hype about their books, and like I guess that also brings a little bit out. Yeah, plays a role in it, but for sure, obviously, like issues 1 through 4 are great. Like everything after that is also super awesome.
I mean 1 through 4 like, just it caused such a rise
with Miles Morales coming in, and and like I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. Like
I know, and he has a lot of Spider-Man.
Yeah, because of my brother.
Yeah, I know. Every time I go,
my brother was Spider-Man, and I was like Captain America, but like whatever. But just like Venom, like Chad said, a character that I never really cared about, and now just, like I know so much about it.
And now, like it sucks that I need an Amazing Spider-Man 300, and it's just like the price of it. Like, damn, man, like I need
somebody taking a character and giving like Marvel giving them creative freedom on that, and just being like
like a literal new spin.
And then that's kind of like why I mentioned Cosmic Ghost Rider as my 1A like 1B type deal, because. Yeah. Same thing. They let Donnie Cates just go off, like just go off.
But crazy. The art and the colors,
where the muted colors,
Venom and Miles Morales are fighting, and they're like coming to terms with each other in the fight, and then just Noel coming in, and then the first time you see Noel in his form, Donnie Cates is describing as a symphony going on. Like I eat that shit up,
bro.
Like,
and also just like
a symphony of agony, cacophony,
giving us the explanations on why fire and sound,
hurt
him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
adding that layer of mythology that we didn't even know we wanted.
Explaining what the whole the shit spits out,
him like salivating, just waste. Awesome.
And then my honorable mention's gotta be Superman. Bendis Superman, just like also another character where I was super big on, but I felt
you're right. I
haven't been reading Batman, and I've been keeping up with Superman because it's been awesome. Like Superman is fucking awesome. Like
Ivan Reyes art, man.
He's awesome. Like
that Ivan Reyes art, the way he has brought that character to life.
And then Rogol Zar, he's cool, but like. He's like that guy. Like he's not pretty, He's like a mutant. Like he's just like
sure what he is or where
he can rise up an army behind him. Like that's what makes him powerful.
Yeah.
So
he uses hate as a tool.
Yeah, like I'm excited to see where that goes. And I would like Man of Steel kind of like prepped everything up, and I was super excited to see what Bendis was going to do, and he killed it. I've been a fan of Bendis since like Disassembled, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure we talked about it already. Not to go back to Venom and like not to bring up the movie, but how cool would it be if Sony worked out a deal where Marvel keeps Tom Holland, they keep Peter Parker, and then they use Miles Morales in their Venom
shows, right?
In their Venom universe.
That'd be weird.
That's what I said.
Yeah, like I said, I know we talked about it, but like. How awesome would that be?
I'd be happy with it. That's what I want.
And that was confirmed. Venom 2.
Yeah, it's now being developed.
2019.
I was hoping more for a new Spider-Verse.
What are you looking forward in 2019?
I was gonna say this is the last thing, and we're caught 2019 thing you're looking forward to the most.
Comic wise,
Yeah.
Guardians. Donny Cates Guardians.
Okay. I feel like I'm on the same page as that.
War of Realms.
War of the
War
Realms.
of Realms. I'd say Avengers. I'm excited for Conan just to see what the
Mhm.
hell happens.
Yeah, I think I'm most excited for Guardians of the Galaxy. Donny Cates. That's
Yeah, I would say that's my most anticipated.
I don't
I'm
want it to
most
get burnt
interested
out.
to see if what's the next Vader thing. The whole what was it called? Dark Vision.
Oh, and Heroes in Crisis. I'm super excited to see how that ends.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that takes the
yeah.
cake.
And I guess my honorable mention of 2019 that I'm most excited to see, and I know it sounds crazy, but the comic Ghost Rider kills the Marvel Universe with Paul Scheer. I want to read that.
Netflix,
So I know, but
It sounds like fun, at least.
you know.
it's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
And I guess on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. I want to thank everyone that's joining us live on my YouTube channel. That's Chad90MF Comics. Make sure you hit that like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. I'm only 4 subscribers away from hitting 100. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a giveaway once I get 100. Thank you for everyone that's watching. Shout out to me, man. Shout out to Frank. Shout out to The Heel. Thank you, Javi. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin. Remember, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, soon to be Spotify, 90 Miles from Comics. Make sure you like us, leave us a comment there. Come say what up to us if you see us in your local comic book shop. And most importantly, go get your books.
Stay sweaty.